Hello there, this is Jonathan Clark, co-founder of HGE and presenter of Stand and Deliver. Now, this is a presentation to take you behind the scenes, or backstage, so to speak, in the world of speaking, giving talks, seminars and training courses. Now, speaking on stage and on video is the most effective way to grow your brand, to make real money and get your message out to the masses. Now, I say this because not only do I sell my products from the stage, I also teach people how to do the same thing. Whether that's on a platform, at the front of a room, or in online video. Communicating, hopefully with clarity and authority, so that my customers believe in me. Now, I've been doing this for several years, and I want to share with you how I've run a six-figure one-man business, all the while having a load of fun speaking on stage and on video. I want to show you how to do it so that you can make money and get your message out there so you can fulfill your goals. Now, when I ask students on my seminars what they'd love to learn, here's what success looks like to them. I ask them, what would you like to see happen? So one of the things I've heard corporate employees say is that they would love to be as confident and outspoken at the front of the room as they are in the canteen at lunch break. If they're a private speaker, then they want to get booked more often, and they also want to perform better in front of the room. I've heard it said that they want to be able to bring the action, in the words of will.i.am, whenever they want, even when they don't feel like it. Because trust me, there will be times when you need to show up and be the entertainment that day. So I recall vividly one gig I had where I drove to the venue and I was sitting outside with 400 people waiting to hear me speak within the next 15 minutes. And the problem was, I just buried a friend at a funeral that afternoon, and I was in no mood to try and put my speaker face on, Yet, 15 minutes later, I was able to blow the doors off the place. And I want to show you how to get control of your emotions and your focus, even in tough times. Another thing my students often talk about, that they want to have more presence. They want to have that aura of authority, or maybe they want to be more charismatic. They want to be able to reach more people, whether that's speaking on bigger stages, having larger audiences, or being able to access more people on the web. They want to get out there with online video. So it's not just the audience in the room, live, but also reaching thousands of other people online through video. What they also want to do is position themselves as an expert or an authority, so that they are the go-to person in their industry, and they outposition themselves above and beyond their competitors. Now, in order to achieve all of this, we need to learn the truth and not listen to the myths that you get in textbooks or from people who've never really been in the industry. There's a lot of armchair speakers out there who don't actually speak for a living. So there's a lot of myths and fears from the critics and the also-rans that have been generated over the years. If you want to be in a sales meeting and persuade people why they should pay attention to you or buy from you, maybe you've got bigger goals. Perhaps you want to run your own workshops and seminars, or speak in your church, or get people to buy after a presentation that you've run. You want to be the presence and inspire other people to take action. Maybe you want to get on the speaking circuit with the other big boys and girls and inspire the groups so that people talk about you and your business grows through referrals. If that's the case, you'd better be ready and you'd better be able to inspire the group so that people go away and talk about you. Maybe you want to get on a television show or be interviewed live and position yourself with credibility and authenticity so you can talk with a true passion for what you do in such a way that people buy into your message and believe in you because you're being genuine. You may have to learn to speak in sound bites and have laser-like messages that land first time. And think about this. What if someone puts a camera in your face? Not only in traditional media, but also the greatest promotional tool that we have at our fingertips right now, online promotional videos. How are you going to come across? Because you need to be in such a good state that they really connect with you. And that means you're going to have to be authentic and real, because people can feel it. So here's my belief. Speaking is the smartest way to get your message out in a big way currently. Whether that's doing your own seminars, or holding sales meetings, or running away days for companies, whatever your company currently does and that you dread doing every year, or online video. See, social media and press media in this day and age are being driven by Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That's the way the world is going now. And whether you use it or whether you don't, doesn't really matter. People trust the social media channels. I mean, if you look at YouTube and you want to dominate social media, then that means video. There's no question. So are you learning to speak with confidence and clarity that inspires people to act? And why would people come and listen to you or choose you over other people? See, now even more than ever, the general public pick based on not only what you say, but how you say it, and also how well you connect with them and touch them emotionally. You've probably heard it said that people buy through emotion and then justify with logic. So if you want people to buy you and buy your ideas, you have to be able to speak from the heart. And the differentiation today is your ability to do that with power and authenticity. If you can't do that, trust me, your business will hit a glass ceiling and you will limit your own success. See, I don't want you to be a good speaker. I want you to be an excellent speaker. Just suppose you stood in front of a camera or used a tool like the one I'm using right now and created online video courses where people paid you £500 or £1,000 to access your information. Imagine people were asking you to come and speak at their conferences for a fee. What would happen? What if you mastered the ability to do platform sales, where you're on stage for 90 minutes to teach, and in the last 10 minutes you invite the audience to enroll or invest in your product or your service? So you say something like, hey, if you like this, and if you'd like to continue your education in this topic, you should buy this course. Just suppose you could make thousands of pounds just by sharing what you already know. You could be doing your own weekend seminars where people pay to come and learn from you. Think of the possibilities if you were good at speaking. Online video courses where people get their credit cards out to buy your stuff. And they do it week in, week out. Is all of this possible? Well, what if I told you that this is exactly my story? See, I couldn't read aloud in primary school. I was so nervous. I was terrified of being asked to read out loud in school. Do you remember Shakespeare plays where everyone in the group had a part to play and you could see your line getting closer and closer and closer? And I would get so nervous, I'd take a panic attack. Sometimes I fainted. And I used to avoid English classes just in case I was asked to speak out loud. Now, it is possible, whether you believe it or not, to change that. Unless you buy into all the fears and the myths of the dying industry of the 20th century, which still hangs over us. Old school speakers telling us how things are supposed to work. And unfortunately, it's antiquated and it's out of date. If you've been told you need to put together a fancy brochure or send along a demo DVD and they'll book you solid, think again. Oh, and whatever you do, don't try and sell anything. Oh my God, no. Selling is bad, it's evil, it's dirty. Speak for free and build your name up. And then if you do enough free gigs, then the paid gigs will come. Good luck with that plan. Oh, I know. You should be polished. You should choreograph every step, every movement, every glance, every look. and perfect and hone a 10-minute speech, and that'll set you up for life. Well, do you know what? Companies and associations don't pay very much for a 10-minute talk. Oh well, okay, if you want to make money then you'll need to do your 10-minute talk every week then, and all those small little investments will ultimately add up. Who wants to go to a venue of 200 miles away to speak for 10 minutes? For free. These myths scare people. They scare them away from even starting, or not making it in the long run, assuming you even begin. The bottom line is, if you have a message and a mouth, please avoid these myths. Avoid getting frustrated or sad because you don't really understand how to do any of this stuff. There are ways to structure your message in such a manner that everyone gets it and you leave people changed. That's why people come to me and train with me every month, because I taught myself how to do it and how to earn a living from it. You know, there's not a lot of new stuff out there in the books and the CDs. Most of it's old and antiquated and out of date. The old paradigm no longer works. The stuff that worked 5 years ago doesn't work anymore. The world has moved on. So you better figure out the new paradigm. So rather than start for free and hopefully get on the circuit eventually, nah. Charge from day one and over-deliver so they feel they got a bargain. And then they book you to come back and they rave about you and tell everyone about you. Also, learn to present well first of all, so you have the skills and in a way that touches people emotionally. So you should start with the ability, teaching or speaking with authenticity and delivering value. Stop worrying about getting the PowerPoint slides right or wearing the right shiny shoes. Make sure, first of all, that you can talk from the heart with integrity. Be so alive at the front of the room and authentic that people are naturally drawn to you. And learn the latest ways to use learning styles and accelerated learning techniques and some of the inside tricks of the trade from the hypnotherapy and hypnosis industries to make sure everyone in the room is engaged with you and everyone in the room gets it. So rather than counting on clever one-liners or funny jokes or dumb techniques and icebreakers, we can guarantee that our energy will impact the listener, and that touches them at the heart level. See, I think there's a huge difference between a speaker and a trainer. People have often asked me, am I a motivational speaker? And I say, no, I'm not a motivational speaker, I'm a trainer. See, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, a speaker can get you all pumped up for a day or so, but then the bubble bursts. And if you want to get back to that emotional high, they need to go back to that speaker. Well, that's good for them, but it's not so good for you. A trainer, on the other hand, leaves people with abilities or skills that they didn't have when they walked into the room. And that's where I want you to be. I want you to be the messenger of hope. That's the new paradigm. That's what works today. And you'll have a ball doing it, giving great content with impactful, profound talks. Then you could work whenever you want, wherever you want, giving such great performances that referrals come to you easily because they've heard of you and they've heard good things. That's the new speaking paradigm. That's the kind of presentations that companies want and pay well for. That's what the press wants. And ultimately, I think that's what you want. Your personality lighting up like a Christmas tree, which then lights up other people when you let it out to play. So it's okay to be you in front of the audience. So here's what you need to ask yourself. How do I strengthen my presentations for clarity, authority, and conviction? How can I bring the action on stage and on video so I can build my brand and my business? Now, I teach a weekend seminar called Stand and Deliver, where I introduce people to ideas that they can use and more about my own story about how I got started speaking. From a terrified mouse who could barely speak to people I knew, to being on TV, radio, doing my own information products, publishing 3 books so far, and happy to take any chance I'm given to stand up and talk to a group. Quite a shift. And I did that by deliberately putting myself in the hot spot, in the hot seat, standing in front of groups, because I knew it would stretch me and I knew it would force me to get better. I'm also going to reveal some of the tricks of the trade used by people like Tony Robbins and Steve Jobs to hook the audience and keep them engaged. Those are some of the things I'm going to talk about in the 2-day event. So book your seat as soon as possible because it will fill up. But for now, what do you want to know about the speaking industry? What questions do you have? Are you scared of talking to groups? Do you have to give speeches reluctantly at work or maybe even at weddings? I'd like to know how you think about the industry. I'd also like to know what you think of this video. So leave your comments and questions and I'll answer them all personally. This is Jonathan Clark, founder of HGE, presenter of Stand and Deliver. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye bye.